As the Yellowstone 1944 trailer reaches its final moments, everything comes down to legacy. Not the romantic idea of it, but the brutal reality. Legacy is shown as something built through pain, compromise, and choices that haunt you long after they are made. The trailer leaves us with a clear understanding that this chapter is not meant to comfort the audience. It is meant to prepare us. What happens in 1944 doesn't just fill in gaps in the timeline. It explains why the Duttons become who they are in the future. This is the moment where the family is permanently shaped, and there is no going back once these events unfold. The trailer strongly suggests that the decisions made during this time will ripple forward for decades. John Dutton II stands at the center of that ripple effect. He is no longer simply the bridge between generations. He is the foundation. The values he absorbs, the mistakes he witnesses, and the losses he endures will define the Yellowstone we eventually see in the modern era. The trailer frames his evolution as unavoidable. Whether he wants this life or not becomes irrelevant. The land demands a steward, and history demands a Dutton willing to harden himself to answer that call. Spencer Dutton's journey feels close to its most painful phase. The trailer implies that survival comes with a final cost, one that forces him to choose between being a good man and being the man the ranch needs. This is where Yellowstone 1944 finds its emotional core. It asks a question that has haunted every Dutton before and after him. How much of yourself are you willing to lose to protect what you love? The trailer does not offer an answer. Instead, it leaves us sitting with the weight of that question, knowing that whatever choice is made will not come without regret. What truly sets this trailer apart is how it positions 1944 as the backbone of the entire Yellowstone universe. 1883 showed us the birth of the dream. 1923 showed us the cost of holding on to it. And, as the Yellowstone 1944 trailer moves deeper into its story, the focus shifts from survival to consequence. This is the point where every choice made earlier begins to demand payment. The trailer carries a heavy sense of inevitability, as if the Duttons are running out of time to correct their course. The war may be approaching its end, but the damage it has done is only beginning to surface. Peace does not arrive as relief. It arrives as uncertainty. Men come back different. Power structures shift. Old enemies resurface, and new ones take advantage of the chaos. The trailer makes it clear that the end of the war doesn't restore order. It removes the excuse for disorder. Spencer Dutton appears increasingly isolated in this chapter, not physically alone, but emotionally separated from everyone around him. The trailer suggests a man who has given everything and now finds himself questioned by both the world and his own family. Leadership no longer comes naturally. Every decision is second-guessed. Every move carries unseen consequences. Spencer isn't just fighting to keep the ranch intact. He's fighting to hold his family together while the foundation beneath them cracks. The weight of legacy becomes heavier than ever because failure no longer feels like an option. If he falls, everything falls with him. The tension between generations sharpens here. John Dutton II is no longer just observing. He is acting. The trailer hints at moments where his choices directly affect the ranch and the people around him. This is where the coming-of-age story turns dangerous. Mistakes aren't lessons anymore. They are losses. The pressure placed on John feels relentless, and the trailer suggests that he is being shaped through hardship rather than guidance. This process hardens him, pushing him closer to the man he will become, but at the cost of innocence. The series seems determined to show that legacy is not inherited peacefully. It is earned through suffering. As the Yellowstone 1944 trailer unfolds further, one thing becomes impossible to ignore. This chapter is built around transformation, not just of characters, but of identity. The Dutton family we see here is no longer reacting to immediate threats alone. They are being reshaped by long-term pressure, and the trailer makes it clear that survival now requires adaptation. The rules that once kept the ranch standing are starting to fail. Violence still exists, but it is no longer enough on its own. Tradition is still honored, but it is being questioned. The trailer suggests that the Duttons are standing at a crossroads, where holding on too tightly to the past could be just as dangerous as abandoning it altogether. John Dutton II's journey becomes even more central at this point. and the trailer strongly hints that he is being prepared for a role he may not be ready to accept. Growing up during wartime forces maturity too early, and the trailer reflects that harsh reality. John is surrounded by loss, responsibility, and expectations that would break most people. He is watching his father carry the weight of an entire legacy and slowly realizing that one day, that weight will fall on his shoulders. The trailer gives the sense that John is not being trained through comfort or guidance, but through exposure to reality. He sees the consequences of every decision, the cost of every compromise, and the price of hesitation. This is how the Duttons are forged, not through choice, but through necessity. The tension between duty and desire also plays a major role here. The trailer hints that not everyone wants the life that comes with the Dutton name. War opens doors as much as it closes them. For some, it offers escape. For others, it offers purpose beyond the ranch. The possibility that a Dutton might choose a different path feels especially dangerous in this era, because the family cannot afford division. Every capable hand matters. Every absence leaves a weakness. The tray. One of the most striking things about the Yellowstone 1944 trailer is how it reframes power. In earlier chapters of the Yellowstone universe, power often came from land ownership, brute force, or strategic alliances. But in 1944, power feels fragile, temporary, almost borrowed. The trailer strongly suggests that the Duttons are no longer the unquestioned force they once were. War has shifted the balance, and suddenly even the most powerful families are at the mercy of decisions made far beyond Montana. Government pressure, wartime policies, and economic strain all seem to close in on the ranch at the same time. This isn't just about defending borders anymore, it's about defending relevance. The Dutton Ranch stands as a symbol of an old way of life, and the trailer makes it clear that this way of life is under serious threat. Spencer Dutton's role in this shifting landscape feels more complex than ever. The trailer portrays him as a man caught between eras. He understands violence. He understands sacrifice. But now he's forced to navigate a world where enemies don't always show themselves openly. Paperwork, regulations, and political decisions become just as dangerous as guns. You can sense that Spencer is fighting battles on multiple fronts, not only as a rancher, but as a father and a leader trying to prepare his sons for a future he himself doesn't fully understand. The war has changed him, but peace hasn't arrived either. Instead, he's stuck in a permanent state of readiness, always waiting for the next blow to land. The emotional weight of loss hangs heavily over this chapter, and the trailer doesn't shy away from it. Alexandra's absence is deeply felt, even when she isn't directly mentioned. Her death in 1923 didn't just break Spencer's heart, it reshaped the entire family dynamic. Yellowstone 1944 appears ready to explore how grief lingers across decades, influencing decisions, relationships, and even parenting. Spencer's relationship with his sons feels Shaw. The Yellowstone 1944 official trailer wastes no time setting the tone, and that tone is heavy, serious, and emotionally charged. From the very first moments, it becomes clear that this is not just another Western story about land and power. This is a world standing on the edge of collapse. The year alone tells us everything we need to know. 1944 places the Dutton family right in the middle of World War II, a moment in history where fear, sacrifice, and uncertainty ruled everyday life. The trailer leans into that weight, showing us a Montana that feels colder, harsher, and more dangerous than ever before. This is a time when every decision matters, and every mistake comes at a cost. The ranch, which has always been the heart of the Dutton legacy, no longer feels like a place of safety. Instead, it feels like a battlefield of its own, one where enemies don't always wear uniforms and survival is never guaranteed. What makes this trailer especially powerful is how directly it connects 1944 to 1923. This doesn't feel like a distant prequel. It feels like a continuation. The scars of the past are still visible, and the losses we witnessed before clearly haven't healed. Spencer Dutton stands at the center of this story, older, heavier, and shaped by everything he has endured. You can feel the exhaustion in him, but also the responsibility. He is no longer just fighting for himself. He is fighting for a future that might not even exist if he fails. The trailer strongly hints that running the ranch during wartime may be the hardest challenge of his life, not because of gunfights or rival families alone, but because the world itself is changing faster than the Duttons can keep up with. Another key element the trailer emphasizes is generational pressure. This is where Yellowstone 1944 starts to feel truly crucial to the entire timeline. John Dutton II is no longer just a name in the family tree. He is young, watching, learning, and being shaped by the chaos around him. The T.